We are, less than a week away from Super Bowl 54. Woo! Who's your money on?
Okay. I'm going to put my money on Kansas City.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes. Now, it's going to be a close game. It's going to be a very good game. San Francisco is very, very deep team, great defense. Really good defense. Great secondary, good offensive line. It's going to be tough, but ultimately, I don't think they're going to be able to keep Pat Mahomes off the field, and they're going to have to score about 30 points to beat him. So, that's putting a lot of pressure on them to do that.
So what do you think the final score will be? Let's see.
I think it'll be a high-scoring game. I would take the over. I'm sounding like a degenerate gambler right now. I'm sorry, everybody, but yeah, I would.
We're talking about Monopoly money here.
Take Kansas City with the over. If you're taking Kansas City, and if you're taking San Francisco, I don't know what to tell you.
If you're taking San Francisco, then
no, San Francisco.
Hi, Jimmy.
San Francisco absolutely has a chance to win this game.
I think so.
They should be favored over Kansas City to win the game. Just if you do it by paper, what it looks like. But yeah.
Okay.
Kansas City.
And the day before, we of course have the Super Bowl weekend celebrity flag football game.
Yes,
the first.
Yes.
Ja, tell me about it.
This is the first annual. I'm going to do this every Super Bowl, so this is the first time I'm doing it. Co-ed, flag football game. Women, men playing together. I got, the women from the WFLA, which is an amazing new women's professional football league.
Right.
This is the first time ever that women are getting paid to play professional football. So kudos to that, just alone.
Well, kudos to you for helping with that. Tell me a little bit about how that even came about.
Well, so I have a company, Icon, which is a booking entertainment company. And
how long have you had that for?
It's new too.
Okay.
It's an app. Okay. So the app will be done March.
Okay.
And right now it's web-based. You can go to icon.me and sign up and make a page and things of that nature. But the app is where it's really going to live, because my 2.0 version is going to be really a monetization platform for talent. So if you're influencer or a model or a speaker like my guy Carlos, or a musician like myself or athlete, you can go on the platform and basically monetize your brand. If you're selling tickets to concerts, you can do that on your page. Fans can follow their favorite talent. I can be booked on Icon. It's a lot of. You can buy merch from your favorite artist there. You can buy Carlos's book there if you want, if you follow Carlos on there. So it's really a platform for you to engage with your super fans.
Got it.
The ones that really, want to be a part of who you are and share your world and support you in that way. So, we're cutting the meat and potatoes, with that.
And speaking of super fans, obviously you walked into the newsroom and you saw how everyone greeted you.
I love it, man. I love the love here at NBC.
We've wondered about you for some time. So what can you tell folks at home? What have you been up to besides Icon and doing all that stuff? As far as internally, how are you feeling?
I feel great. I've been in this business a long time, so when you get to the age that I am and the level of at my career, it's for me it's about rebranding myself now and doing, letting people know what I'm doing now. Now, I'm really a family man. I'm raising 3 beautiful kids. They're grown now, so I'm also helping them navigate their careers. My daughter, she's a screenwriter and an actress, and she went to school for drama, graduated from Hampton University, HBCU. And then my son, he is an up-and-coming musician and producer.
Wow.
And he's at Full Sail in Orlando.
In Orlando.
Yeah, learning how to produce and engineer and all that stuff. And then my third child, my youngest son, Jordan, he actually wants to go into the tech field. So they kind of got all my bases covered to help dad, and
so
make it a family business. So
you're not going to have to pay for anything in 10 years
we're
when
just
they're
going to make it a family business. The only thing I'm missing is a lawyer. I need one of them to be a lawyer. I may need to have one more, but I'll be too old by that time that one grew up. So, But I'm really enjoying just, you know, being a great father and you know, taking care of my businesses and making sure, you know, things just go right. Yeah,
yes.
For the next 10 years here, you know?
For the next chapter.
Yes.
But let's talk a little bit about that chapter that we kind of want to close, you know, the book.
Yeah.
What was the learning lesson here? What did you learn?
I learned a lot. You know, I learned, you know, from my previous experiences, we all know what we're talking about. You know, the fire, it's the elephant in the room all the time for me. But, you know, I learned so much from that situation. You know, I got with people that I entrusted my vision, my dream. It's like having a baby and
giving it to the wrong nanny.
Yeah, you know, and you find that you look on the camera and they're beating the baby in the back, and you're like, okay, this is not what I expected. But you know, it's really that's how I feel. You know, I'm a visionary. I'm a creative. You know, I come up with amazing ideas and things to do, but the hard part is bringing them to life. You know, so when you put your vision in somebody else's hands, you run the risk of them not bringing that vision to life, and your name being on the marquee. You know, so that's the problem. You know, if these people are supposed to handle a certain thing and don't, I get blamed for everything. Yeah. You know, so that was my learning curve with that. If I'm doing something and it's mine and my name is on it, then you better make sure that all the you know, dots, the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed, because you don't want what I went through. And this is for any entrepreneur out there. You know, if you have, you know, something that you're passionate about and it's yours, make sure you are the one that's seeing it through from beginning to end. You know, you can't delegate everything. But, you know, that's a thing too, because when you're building a company that is going to be a massive company, you can't be everywhere at once. So you do have to delegate at some point some of the power, but oversee it all, you know, and make sure that you're on top of it. And that's the biggest thing I learned.
It's really hard when you have a lot of things going on. How do you oversee everything and make sure that your project, your baby, something that you have so much passion in, doesn't get corrupted?
It's tough. It's like if somebody gets raped in an Uber, the guy that owns Uber, you know what I'm saying? He gets the call, but he's not 100% responsible for what happened. But it's his job to make sure that doesn't happen ever again. You know, so when you build in these big companies, it's hard to keep an eye on everything that's going on and things that can cause a black eye for your company. You know, so there's a saying that I like, that I really love, you know, because it's so true. You can't, in life, you can't always, you know, you can't help sometimes what happens, but you can, you're responsible for the
after
outcome,
effect.
the after effect, and how you know how you
manage it.
Yes, how you manage it, right.
With grace,
and so
right?
It's just a tough thing to go through. You know, I really hate talking about it, because it's like it was tough on me. You know, and I still, you know, I get it a lot. You know.
Now, as far as your friends, as far as people in the media who you know, grew up, you know, vibing with, do you feel that you were supported, or do you feel like they kind of shut the door on you?
It's funny in this entertainment business, because when the waters get muddy, people don't stand by you. You know, you have.
But I feel like that's not only the entertainment business. I feel like that's just life.
Yeah, that's just life, period. Well, you know, your family's.
Yeah, for sure.
That's another thing that I learned. You know, when times get rough,
family's always
those are the people that are going to be there in your corner, you know, rooting for you, you know, letting other people know, like, this is not the character of the man that I know, and this is not who he is, you know. But others, it's kind of tough for them to stand next to or be a part of, you know, something that they don't know. You know, and I think in this industry we use the word friend very loosely. You know, I have a lot of associates in this business, you know, but friends, not so many. Because friends, you know, would know the character of your friend, and then they would stand up for you and say, you know, that's not the man that I know. You know, I don't know him to be that guy. But it's tough, you know, it's tough. Listen, I have an associate that's going through something right now, myself. And I was called, you know, Ja, could you? And I'm like, yo, I just can't get next to that right now. You know what I'm saying? I can't, and you know, even if it's not the person that I know, it's just hard to get next to. So I understand it, and I don't, you know, I don't have any animosity or anything towards anybody, you know. But the people that know me, they do know my heart. They know I'm a good person, you know. So I sleep good at night.
That's all that matters, right?
If
you sleep good at night. Yeah. You know who's probably sleeping good at night too, and we'll change the topic on Fyre Fest soon, but Andy King.
Andy King.
He's sleeping good.
Andy, yeah. You know, some people fall up.
Man.
And Andy's got himself a nice little Avion deal out of the situation, and hey, good for Andy.
Isn't that nuts?
Good for Andy.
Good for him,
yeah, good
right?
For Andy, yeah.
Have you kept in touch with anybody with that project? Not
too much. Well, actually, yeah. One of the guys that helped build Fyre, he built Icon for me, and we're still, you know, partners in Icon. That's MD, you know. So he was a part. He was even on the documentary and everything, you know. So that in alone should let people know. Well, if he's still working with Ja and still doing stuff with Ja, then you know. But you know, I'm to the point now where I just want to get past it. You know, I don't know how many times I can express how terrible I feel that it didn't work the way I wanted it to work. And you know,
nobody goes into it expecting it to be a total S show, right?
It's just not what I expected, not what I wanted. But it happened, and now you know you got to deal with it. It's, you know, you can't run from it, you can't hide from it. It's something that you deal with and you move on from. You know?
And I gotta imagine that it's gotta be hard for you because of course people see you as the rapper, the cool guy, you know, in your moments of silence, in your moments of when you're behind closed doors. How did you feel internally? Did you give yourself that grace, or were you kind of beating yourself up?
You know, I didn't want to beat myself up over it because I knew the inner workings of what was going on. And as far as, you know, the festival itself trying to be pulled off as a great festival, and that's all I know. You know, like, so what people want to say, oh, the festival was this and it was a fraud and these guys was just out to rob people. I mean, for Ja Rule, that makes no sense. You know, so as much as I understand, you know, the social media, the memes, and the, you know, we live in an era now where the lie is much more fun than the truth. And so people love to, you know, live with whatever, you know, they turn that thing any way they want. And I just have to sit back and just endure it and take it and go on and move on to my next ventures and, you know, just keep being strong and positive, because you can't, you know, I get a lot of advice from, not only advice, but just, you know, we do these conferences and I go talk about the dangers of influencer marketing, you know, and the feedback that I get from CMOs and CEOs of companies is like, Ja, you're doing the right thing, keep pushing forward. You know, I too had a situation that was out of this world, and you know, and they tell me these stories of their companies that I never even knew about because they weren't big celebrities at the time it happened, and so, you know, they were able to, you know, take their loss, you know, as a learning experience and go on and create their next business and learn from it and make it successful. Yeah. You know, I'm not getting the chance to do that so much. You know, people are not letting me learn and grow from that the way they should, because I guess, you know, I'm Ja Rule, the celebrity, and so, you know, it was sensationalized, you know, a lot by that, because of that.
How do we change that? How do we change the narrative here?
You just work hard, you know, 10 toes down. Like I'm doing. I'm building my new company, and you know, everyone will see how great of a company it is, and you know how good of a person I am, and you know, to know me is to love me. That's what I say.
Oh, I love that. And companies. You also have a tax company. I had no idea about that. I didn't even know. That was news to me.
Yes. So
what's that all about? Because that's interesting.
So my tax company is called Value Tax, and It's a franchise. It's like
Okay,
owning
okay.
a goddamn
A Little Caesars.
Starbucks or yeah,
Okay.
or whatever. And I happen to own you know, a few of the storefronts.
So you're not very like involved in it. You just own it.
I don't do taxes, people. We have professional CPOs. They're gonna do your taxes, and I just own them.
But you did tweet out that your company was going to help people do their taxes,
Yes,
which is not a lie. It's the company, and you can do your taxes with them.
It's like if I
Which you
if I
got
would have
heat-
bought an H&R Block.
Sure. And you got
You know
heat for
what I'm
that
saying?
too.
It's just it's what people like to do, man. You know, it's like so. I shouldn't buy company. I shouldn't
Invest.
You know, you know what's so crazy? I get people online. They just, and it really shows how the society we live in, and how sad it is for me to look at the way people see themselves. I am immensely confident, like almost overconfident. Like I'll bet on me all day because that's all I have to bet on. You know, when my back was against the wall and nobody believed in me as being a rapper or anything like that, my own mom told me, hey, listen, I don't know if this rap thing's working out, baby. You need to get your real job. You got a daughter now. You know, and so when you're a person that is used to people saying, I don't know if that's going to work for you, and you push through and you make it work and you become what you envision and what you see, it gets hard to turn that off. That confidence grows because, like I said, I'm a visionary, I'm a creative. I'm doing things that don't necessarily exist. Icon, there's nothing like Icon. There's no platform like it. There's nowhere, you know, I solved the age-old problem of consumer celebrity. What's the one thing that consumers or just society would love to get next to, love to have access to, but can't? The one thing is celebrities. I essentially gave everyone access to celebrity with Icon. If you have the money and you want to book Drake for your bar mitzvah, or you want to book Ja Rule or Shanti or somebody for your, you know, wedding or whatever, how do you do that? Where do you go to find these people? You go to an agency. If you're just a regular person that doesn't know,
you hit them in the DM.
Yeah, like you know, you understand? Like, what do you? So now with Icon, it's one-to-one.
Okay.
You can go there, hit Ja Rule, say, hey, I got X amount of dollars for you. Will you come do this show here on this date? And now I can actually respond to that and say, well, I'm available, but I need a little more money, or you know, or whatever the case may be. I can negotiate that deal. Mm-hmm. Before that, this doesn't exist. The booking industry is the only industry that's archaic. It's so old. It still runs by the old ways of the way it ran 100 years ago. And it's just, we live in a whole new world now. Everything has been, you know, entered into the new, you know, technology era, except for booking. And so, I took this opportunity to say, okay, I'm tired of 5 people having their hands in my pie. So I really wanted to build this platform for myself, but realize it works for everybody. It works, you know, I don't know if you do bookings or appearances or speaking engagements or anything, but if you do.
My mom and dad always want me to, you know, that's the only people that ask for me to
This is a platform for you. This is a platform for anybody that wants to get next to the people that support them the most. So, my platform is a really, really special thing that I'm building, and people will see it once it's built. They'll understand.
Sounds like you're really passionate about it.
I am, because I really believe in it, and anybody that I've ever spoke to about it, they understand it, they get it, because one, they've probably tried to book somebody and they've had hell doing it. Or on the flip side of that, they're an artist that's been, taken advantage of doing deals and stuff like that. By the time a deal gets to me, it's 20-30% less of what it should be, because this guy needs to get his piece, this guy needs to get this piece. So, this cuts out all the middlemen. Now I'm engaging right with my super fans and the consumers and buyers that want to engage with Ja Rule or whatever talent that's on the platform. And that's what I think artists want the most.
Let's talk about super fans, because you still have them.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, super fans are the best fans. Because they're the ones that buy. They're the ones that come to the shows. They're the ones, you know, when you look at Instagram, right? Take a person that has 1 million followers. Let's just go on a low number of 1 million followers. Companies pay these artists because they're looking for that super fan to engage with. So if you take an Instagram page, that 1 million turns into 1 to 10% of that fan base. That's the super fan. Those are the ones that they're targeting. So you're saying, okay, I have 1 million fans. You're targeting 10,000 to 100,000 of these people? Well, Icon, we want to, it's my little saying, I want to strain the water out of the spaghetti, which is very easy to do, but bring all of the super fans here and let them know that this is why you're here. You're not here to look at pictures. You're not here to comment, you know, stuff. You're here to engage with your favorite talents. Buy the merch, go to the shows, you know, get shout outs, whatever it may be. It's being made possible through Icon.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how'd you get involved with the Women's Football League Association?
So that's how it started.
Oh.
So I went to them and I said, listen, I want to, you know, let Icon do the entertainment for the WFLA, because when you have a new anything, especially a new sports league, you know, when I look at the history of NFL, NBA, you know, they started heavy with entertainment to help sell the tickets, to help bring, you know, the butts in the seats. So I felt that this league would need a heavy, you know, entertainment, you know, feel. So I came to them to do that, to bring them the entertainment side of you know, what they're gonna need. And really I sat with them, and I'm a sports fanatic. I love sports. I love women. And so I said, this is an amazing opportunity to do two things that I really love. You know, I have a daughter. I love that. Like, it was like when Obama got elected. For me, it was a big thing, because for little black boys and girls, they get to see Michelle and Barack Obama in the highest office in the land. And it just gives us hope. It gives us, before that, it was like no black person could ever be a president.
Yeah.
So
it basically tells you too can leave a legacy.
Right. And so with this, now we're saying, for every little girl that's out there that they're telling you can't play football, well, yes, you can.
And you can get paid for it.
And you can get paid for it. You know, so I'm seeing the steps are even being taken. You know, like right now, Atlanta just, they just passed a law to make female flag football a sport throughout the state, you know, in all the high schools. See, these are the steps that we need to be taken, you know, to empower women to play football, you know, and I didn't know that so many women played football until I got involved with this. It's like a worldwide thing. They play in Australia, they have leagues, they have, you know, leagues in Finland and London and all over the world, and I didn't know. So
it's just like wrestling.
Bigger.
Women are you know.
Oh yeah, the women's wrestling is huge, and I love, you know, women's athletics, when done right, is amazing. But I also think, I have a theory. You don't lose anything when you watch female tennis, other than the speed of the ball, the velocity of how hard the men hit it from the women. But the sport is the same. Everything else is the same, you know? Soccer, same thing. It's the same. It's the same sport. It's just women playing it, you know? Football, it's the same sport. You're watching the same thing. These women tackle, they juke, they catch, they celebrate, they have the passion like the men. It's the same sport you're watching.
Yeah.
Just being played by women. And I think that's a big deal, because, you know, sometimes when I look at the WNBA, I get a little frustrated because it's not the same game that I'm watching, because the women can't dunk, They can't, you know, that alley-oop is missing. I would love to see a chick hanging on another chick. That's fun for me. I love to see it, and I'm sure the women would love to do it. But the rims are a little too high. I think they should bring them down to 9 feet. What's the big deal? You know, let them be able to do, you know, what, you know, so, but.
The main thing is not to compare. It's totally different.
Yeah, it's a little different, but I think that is what makes it different for the WNBA and makes these other sports acceptable a little bit faster because you're watching, you don't lose anything. You understand? It's the same sport. Boxing, same thing. Women are in there getting it on. MMA, same thing. Women in there getting it on. You change up certain things and now it's not the same.
And speaking of women getting it on, next week, of course, Super Bowl, Shakira, J-Lo taking the biggest stage for the halftime show. That set list that leaked, man, we don't know if it's real or not. I have
no idea.
I really hope it's not because I like the element of surprise. So whoever took that picture and posted it,
that's so
shame on you.
Yeah, so
shame on you. But one of your songs with her is.
I did see that. Yeah,
is on there. How does that make you feel? What did you think about that when you first saw that?
I laughed.